we rely on the wholesaler and the closing company to keep us up to date. So eligibility requirements are just, if you have a deal and you have a buyer, send it over. We'll work with the closing company, and if it gets to closing, we'll fund it. There's no experience necessary. You don't have to show us previous deals. You don't have to have a credit score. You don't have to have established a credit score with your LLC or business. You can be brand new. It can be under your name, a business name, anything really. As long as you have a deal and you have a buyer already under contract, we'll take that submission, and then once we get to closing, as long as everything's lined up, clears to close, we'll close it. But that's a big question that people ask a lot. There's no underwriting process, or there's no experience previously needed. We funded multiple deals for first-time deals for wholesalers. They're ecstatic. They're like, hey, I got my first deal. I'm making $50K. Heard about you guys. Would love to use your funds to double close. We do it for them, and they just become a lifelong partner in bringing us deals and referring us out to other people. All you really have to do is, we just ask that once you have a deal under contract, once you have a deal with a buyer as well, once you have a contract. So we do have people that reach out to us from time to time and say, hey, I just got a deal under contract, but we can't do much with it until they have an actual buyer lined up. Once they have their contract with their seller, once they have their contract with their buyer, all they have to do is just go to our site. There's a big blue banner there to submit a deal, or just reach out to myself directly, and we'll send you a form, a link to click, and then you just submit the form and comes over to us. But process is just straightforward. You literally just fill out a quick form. It's like a one-pager. It comes over to us, and then we just take everything over from there. So we keep it super simple, super straightforward. The bottlenecks that come up are just bottlenecks that happen with a closing regardless. If the deal gets pushed back because there's title issues, or the buyer disappears, or the seller disappears, or it's hard to get people on the lot on the phone, or they're on vacation, and that sort of thing, those are all communicated with us from the closing company. So that's why we work with them directly. Really, the only thing that's going to hold something up is an issue with title, or if the wholesaler that submitted the deal drops out of contact with us and we don't hear from them for a while. We're not, we're working with the closing company. If the closing company is responding, but the investor's not toward closing, that's an issue. Or it's very rare, but if the closing company, title company, just stops communication and we're not really sure where everything's at, we're kind of in a deadlock until we know that everything's lined up and good to close. So we rely on the wholesaler and the closing company to keep us up to date.